Okay, let's talk about Zhen. Just hearing that name, I bet a very specific image pops into your head, right? But today, we're going to peel back the layers and really look at the performance by Daisu that made this so-called twisted beast so absolutely unforgettable. And trust me, what we find is probably not what you're expecting.
It's so easy to just slap the villain label on him and call it a day, but that's the simple answer, isn't it? The real question is, what's actually going on underneath it all? What's the truth behind that ice-cold exterior? The answer isn't just complicated, it's genuinely tragic.
And this is really the core of it all, right here. On the surface, the world sees this overbearing CEO, a classic villain from a storybook. But that's just the armor he's wearing. Deep down, he's a puppet, completely trapped by his own family. He's not a monster, he's more like a wounded beast, lashing out because he's been backed into a corner his entire life.
So let's really tear down this idea that he's just some one-dimensional bad guy. The truth is, his entire personality was bent and twisted into this shape by something way more powerful than any business rival, his own father.
And this quote, man, this just hits the nail on the head. This is the key to his entire motivation. He isn't driven by a healthy need for love or connection. What he's starved for, what he desperately craves is validation. He just wants someone, anyone, especially his father, to finally see him and acknowledge him.
And you have to ask, why? Well, it's because he's spent his whole life being treated not like a son, but like a product, something that had to be perfect to please his cold, demanding father. Every single thing he did was just another attempt to hear a simple, well done. And that's what turned him into a puppet. It's why he's so paranoid and controlling, why he clings to relationships like they're lifelines, because he's terrified they'll be snatched away, just like his father's approval.
When you map it out, his whole journey is it's a tragedy. He starts out as this perfect product, which of course leads to that paranoid need for control. And that huge moment when he reports his own father, that's not some attempt to whitewash everything he's done. No way. It's this massive, earth-shattering moment of awakening. It's the very first time he acts for himself, and it's the beginning of this incredibly painful process of trying to piece his own soul back together.
Okay, so we get the character's psychology, but how do you actually bring that level of complexity to the screen? This is where we have to shift gears and talk about the incredible craft of the actor, Daiyu. Because the soul of this performance, it's all in the tiny details.
Get this, 30 seconds. That's it. That's all it took. In one legendary 30-second elevator scene with almost no dialogue, Daiyu gave a complete masterclass in creating tension. It was so good it completely captivated everyone and just blew up online.
So how in the world did he pull that off? Well, it comes down to this insane millimeter-level control. That tiny, half-second hesitation of his finger before it presses the button. That quick, sideways glance that just sucks all the air out of the room. And that little, almost invisible smile. It's not friendly, it's a power move. It says, I know you're afraid, and I'm enjoying it. Absolutely chilling.
But here's what's truly mind-blowing. Some of the best moments, they weren't even in the script. In the Band-Aid scene, he was supposed to just throw it away. Instead, Daisu chose to carefully fold it and tuck it into his suit pocket. In that one tiny gesture, you see all of Zhen's hidden vulnerability, how much he secretly cherishes these tiny bits of kindness. And then there's the ice bath. That shudder you see, that's not just an actor pretending to be cold, that's the despair of a man whose heart feels completely dead inside.
And that really gets to what everyone was saying online. This isn't loud, flashy, look-at-me acting. It's deep, it's restrained, it's raw. He's not just playing a character, it feels like he's embodying him from the inside out. This is what you call acting with your bones. So the big question is, why did this performance hit so hard? Why did it connect with so many of us? You know, this is about more than just one great actor in one great show. This whole thing points to a much bigger shift in what we, the audience, really want to see. It's what you could call an aesthetic victory for us.
I mean, the proof is right there on social media. This wasn't some niche thing. The hashtag #ElevatorGod literally blew up. People weren't just passively watching, they were actively dissecting every single frame, every micro-expression, trying to figure out how he did it.
And the reason for this huge reaction is actually pretty simple. Viewers are just tired.
We're tired of that superficial, explosive style of acting, where the only way to show emotion is by yelling or making crazy faces. There's a real hunger for substance, for something that feels genuine.
Honestly, this performance feels like a real turning point. It feels like we're moving away from the false fire of hype, all that loud, empty, exaggerated stuff, and we're entering an era of true skill, an era that values acting that's precise, that's restrained, and that can be quiet but still resonate like crazy. And that brings us to the most important takeaway of all. The massive success here, this isn't just a win for the actor. It's a victory for every single one of us watching who values real craft, subtlety, and depth. It's proof that if you deliver quality, the audience won't just notice, we'll champion it.
At the end of the day, a performance like this just proves that you don't have to scream to be heard. Great acting just has to be true. So that leaves me with one last question for you. What other subtle, powerful performances have stuck with you long after the credits rolled?